Let's talk about the most exclusive club in the world, leadership. Right now, the bouncers are mostly baby boomers, and if you're Gen Z, you're stuck outside. You've got the ideas and digital fluency to redesign the whole party, but you can't get past the velvet rope. This isn't just about avocado toast or generational squabbles. It's about who gets to shape the next 50 years. Technology is rewriting reality, the planet's running a fever, and our economies are shaking. Who's in charge? People who still think the cloud is just weather. Gen Z is inheriting a world on fire, but the fire extinguishers are held by those who built the bonfire. We're the most educated, diverse, and digitally native generation ever. But when we show up with solutions, we're told to wait our turn. We're expected to fix the future, but not allowed a say in the present. This isn't just a delay, it's a denial of our potential. So let's audit the system, break down the numbers, expose the psychology, and reveal why young people are kept on the sidelines. The velvet rope isn't just keeping us out, it's choking progress. It's time to cut the rope, crash the party, and rebuild the venue. Let's get started. Here's the data. The average US senator is 64, Fortune 500 CEOs are 57, and media heads are in their 50s and 60s. Meanwhile, America's median age is 38. That's not a gap, it's a canyon. Power looks nothing like the people it's supposed to represent. When leaders making decisions about student debt paid less for college than a new iPhone, urgency is lost. When they debate climate policy but won't see the worst effects, the crisis feels abstract. They're running a smartphone world with a flip phone OS, and we're stuck with the crashes. This isn't just the US, it's global. Over half the world is under 30, but nearly all the power is over 55. This isn't natural, it's a systemic bottleneck. Billions are ignored, like car designers who've never driven in traffic. Gen Z isn't apathetic, we're locked out. The leadership ladder is outdated, rewarding time served over talent. The system perpetuates itself, keeping power older, wealthier, and less diverse. That's not a fun fact, it's the root of our biggest problems. The numbers don't lie, the old guard is holding on, and the rest of us are left waiting. It's time to update the system, not just the faces. The world has changed, our leaders haven't. The result? Stagnation, frustration, and a future built on yesterday's ideas. We need a leadership reboot, and it starts now. The go-to defense for this imbalance? Experience. Sure, experience matters, but it's become a wall, not a qualification. It's code for people like us, a way to shut down new ideas. The experience being valued is often obsolete, forged in a world that doesn't exist anymore. Relying on old answers for new problems is dangerous. Imagine solving quantum physics with a 1980s calculator. That's what's happening. Young people can't get experience because they're not given opportunities, and they're not given opportunities because they lack experience. It's a catch-22 that keeps the leadership pipeline clogged. This isn't meritocracy, it's a waiting game that stifles fresh talent. The obsession with experience is just risk aversion. True wisdom is knowing when you need new questions, not just old answers. The new questions are coming from those with the most at stake, Gen Z. Valuing experience is smart. Worshipping it is a recipe for collapse. We need leaders who can adapt, not just reminisce. The future demands it. Gen Z's resume is stacked, most educated, most diverse, and digital natives. We're fluent in the creator economy, decentralized networks, and viral information. Our diversity is a superpower, driving empathy and creative problem-solving. We have the skills for today's world, but not the access. The keys to the kingdom are still held by those running on an outdated OS. We bring agile, tech-forward ideas to analog, bureaucratic systems. The mismatch wastes human potential and sidelines the very skills needed for today's challenges. We're ready to build and lead, but told to sit down and be quiet. The world is changing fast, but leadership is stuck in the past. Where does gatekeeping hurt most? Climate, work, and politics. Young activists bring urgency to climate change, but the old guard responds with condescension or mockery. In the workplace, fresh ideas are dismissed as threats, leading to burnout and quiet quitting. Politics? The barriers to entry are sky high. Money, networks, and age all favor incumbents. The system protects itself at the expense of progress. The gatekeepers preserve a museum of the past while the world outside burns. This isn't passive, it's an active choice with real consequences. The cost of this power imbalance? It's real, and Gen Z pays the bill. Student debt is crushing, and homeownership is a joke for many. The job market is a broken ladder. Gig work, unpaid internships, and no security. The old social contract is dead, but we're blamed for not being loyal. Mental health suffers under constant economic and existential stress. Our struggles aren't personal failings, they're rational responses to a broken system. This isn't a generational war, it's a fight for a fair shot at life. Why won't the old guard let go? It's not evil, it's fear, ego, and a misguided sense of duty. Fear of irrelevance makes letting go feel like losing identity. They see themselves as guardians, not gatekeepers, convinced only they can protect their legacy. The system is built for self-preservation. Why change what made you powerful? They rationalize, believing stability is paramount, even as the system fails. For them, change is risky. For us, the status quo is the real danger. They see chaos, we see complacency. The disconnect is a canyon. They're preserving the past, we're building the future. Until they see that their stability is our crisis, they'll keep holding on. But the world can't wait. It's time for a new perspective. The gates are locked. So what do? Build our own keys. First, term limits. In politics and boardrooms, they force turnover and fresh ideas. Next, real leadership pipelines. Mentorship, paid fellowships, and promoting young people into real power. Call out organizations with all white, all male, all older boards. Make youth representation a key metric of progress. Policy matters. Fight for student debt cancellation, campaign finance reform, and access to capital for young entrepreneurs. These aren't handouts, they're investments in the future. Remove financial barriers so young people can fully participate. And don't just wait for a seat at their table. Build your own. Support Gen Z startups, media, and grassroots movements. Invest, donate, amplify young voices. By building parallel power structures, we create leverage. We don't need permission to lead. We prove our competence and force the old guard to adapt or become irrelevant. The future is ours to build. Here's the bottom line. No one's handing us power. History shows power is never given. It's taken through pressure, ideas, and refusing the status quo. Stop waiting for an invitation to lead. The future is built, not inherited. Use your frustration. Get organized, join local groups, start projects, run for office. Every action adds a crack to the old guard's foundation. We have the numbers, energy, and moral high ground. Don't let them call you too young or too idealistic. Your inexperience is your asset. It lets you see solutions they can't. Your idealism is the moral compass the world needs. They call it radical. We call it rational. We live with the consequences of their decisions, so we have the right and responsibility to demand a say. Don't ask for the mic. Take it. Don't wait for your turn. Create it. The future belongs to those who show up. Let's show up, build better, and make the party ours.